it's late, but it's not pretty late to at least do something that you like, or that you want to at least get an experience. I mean, maybe bad, good, let's see. But yeah, I mean, I always wanted to have that network to get into that mindset that, okay, yeah, I mean, it's not just finance. You have other departments, how they work, how the business works all together.
All right. So thank you so much, Subi, for joining us for the Success Story series. So before I get started, maybe you can tell me a little bit about yourself, your background. What has been your journey so far?
Basically, I'm a chartered accountant. So I already, before pursuing or before even getting into this journey, I was a professional with 8 years of experience into finance, into different industries like insurance and IT. So I have had a good amount of experience as to understand the finance perspective of various industries. But what led me to MBA, I would say, was to have that broader picture about the business. So yes, I mean, CA gives me an immense depth into finance, basically. But I was more into to know the entire business, to have that breadth into my understanding, my knowledge about how business works. And so yeah, that's been my motivation to get into this journey of pursuing MBA now.
All right. So, after 8 years thinking of completely shaking up things when life is going good, right, is a big step and it's a big risk. What got you to take that risk, and what was that motivation to do it?
So my motivation, I would say, I mean, it's like a cliche line that I always wanted to do MBA kind of a thing. But what led was it's kind of a personal thing that my younger brother has done masters. He's in the US. So it was like I was supporting him first. He was doing his masters, and so I had to just postpone my plan of doing MBA. And then once he's now settled, I'm like, now I can do. And it's late, but it's not pretty late to at least do something that you like, or that you want to at least get an experience. I mean, maybe bad, good, let's see. But yeah, I mean, I always wanted to have that network to get into that mindset that, okay, yeah, I mean, it's not just finance. You have other departments, how they work, how the business works all together. So yeah, late, but still, I mean, it's like I wanted to do. So it was also that, yeah, I had decided for myself that this is the year I'll get it done, or else I have to give up. Because then it doesn't make sense that after 9-10 years of experience going to some other country, against restarting your stuff and getting into that, acclimatizing yourself into new structure altogether, when I have been comfortable in India in the setup I am currently for past 10 years. So yeah, but somehow something just I mean, karna hai to karna hai wala, it was.
Right. So, did it take a lot of convincing to your family also to tell them that, because sometimes that is the biggest challenge you always have.
So yeah, I mean, as you said, Indian culture, or particularly other families here, are very close tied. And even like when my younger brother is not there, so it's like we three are now very close than we were earlier. So yeah, it took a bit of convincing. It was like. I mean, they were like, you can do. Obviously, they won't say no. I mean, no one would just stop me, or I mean, that's not their nature also. So they won't say no. But yeah, I mean, they're like, Karlo, you can try, see what happens, and then now the stage is that everything is done. I'm going for sure, and so yeah, I mean, things are settling down. They are like, okay, now let's plan how we'll do without you, or what you will do without us. So yeah, those are some conversations that now happen. So it's like convincing didn't happen overnight, obviously. It was a stage thing that we got into talks that let me try, let me see if I can change my life in some other perspective, maybe be it monetary or knowledge based. I mean, if you get everything, I mean, one hand I'm getting knowledge, other hand I'm also getting some monetary benefit, some standard of living is what my concern was. So yeah, I mean, it happened eventually, and now they're supportive enough. Yeah.
So, why was Canada your choice?
Canada was my choice. First being, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but comparatively it's cheap than UK and US. A bit of lesser competition where I can get into that system and I mean, I can take my time to get used to it. And other being, obviously, it is immigrant friendly. So one thing being that as well. And Canada is a good gateway, I would say, for the global market, wherein I can obviously get that gateway into my North America market. And maybe again, so that experience would help me in India as well, is what I understand. Somehow it gives me a good win-win kind of a thing. So Canada makes me like comfortable to some extent.
Right, right. So always when you think of doing an MBA, there are multiple hurdles in this, So one is obviously the test, right? You have to take the GMAT or you apply for the waiver. How did you plan that part for yourself?
I wouldn't lie, but GMAT was like a I wouldn't say nightmare, but it was really daunting to my confidence or to the motivation that I had to do MBA. So I have given my GMAT twice, wherein I thought my preparation, my exams, I mean the self exams that I give from my place are going good. They're good. But on the exam day, somehow I was not able to perform. The first time happened. Second time also, I was not really happy about my score. I was really demotivated. But yeah, I mean, Crack Bubble team obviously helped me in terms of how I can prepare or what should my focus be. It's not just GMAT is what goes into the application. You have to give an overall application kind of a thing. So you, rather than saying that your GMAT is low, I was being told that maybe you can focus why GMAT is something you need not measure me from. So you can go through like what will you contribute, how will your experience count, what is your professional background. So GMAT, yeah, I mean, still I am not at a good score, to be frank. So I am still not there. But somehow I am proud, I would say, that I made to a school which I wanted to. I applied to multiple schools. I was like, maybe if my GMAT is not that good for MBA, let's try for masters. That was also a thought process that went through my application phase. So I did that as well. But fortunately, I got admits from all the schools that I applied to. And I could choose, and yeah, I mean, I made to the school that I wanted to. So GMAT, yes, it played a role, but I'm happy that I got past it. So yeah.
So tell me about the application process. You worked very closely with Sandeep for your entire application. Tell me what you thought it was and what it was actually for you.
Okay, application, for the first one when I started, I got the topics. I'm like, okay, I have to write something on this. I started thinking, I wrote an essay which was like very, I would say, very casual kind of a thing. And I just wrote it, okay, now this is my story. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is why I'm doing it. I thought, okay, now I'm done. Sandeep sir will just proofread it and he'll say, okay, now you submit. But that didn't happen. Apparently, it was like, no, this is not how it is done. You have to go through, you have to think a lot, you have to put a lot of time, a lot of effort as to how you have to want the person to know you, how you want that person, the opposite person reading to understand what are the challenges or the experience that you want to highlight. So he, and along with him, Vishwa also helped me in the first application at least. There he told me that go through these points as to what are your experiences, what are your downfalls, what are your uplifts, what you contributed, what helped you, what were the hurdles, and henceforth. So there were a lot of points that they told me to think. And if I'm being frank, that was the first time I sat and thought about my life, the entire thing. I went into the rewind. I'm like, okay, this is what I've done. This is something I've put effort into. This is something that has changed me, or this is something that I still carry with me for maybe past 8 years from my first job till my current job. So those were the things that Sandeep sir helped me as to, you have to be very clear and crisp, but also things that you want to convey. You have to have that control in your application as to what you want to show that person about yourself. So yeah, that was a good experience. But then once I got an hang, then yeah, I mean the process was smooth for the rest too. But yeah, first one did take a lot of time. I was like, we are going to and fro. I'm like, Sandeep sir is like, this paragraph is not correct, or it is not showing that you want me to, that you So I say something, he understands, but he's like, when I'm reading, I'm not seeing that stuff. So you're not writing the way you're thinking. So we had a lot of to and fro's. It was like a month that we're doing. I'm like, kab hoga ye? When will this get home? So yeah, that was the thing. Because I was kind of running late, I would say, for my first. As an international student, I have to apply in the first 2 or 3 rounds or 4 rounds as the schools are. So I was running with the deadline, so I had to get it done. I was like, even if I get late, will I get an admission? Will I get an interview call? So yeah, I mean, it was like a good experience. Obviously, not while I was.
But anxiety.
Yeah. Now I think it was a good fun. Yeah.
So, once you applied to these schools and started, getting admits, what was that phase for you?
That was good. I mean, as soon as I got an interview call, I would message Sandeep sir saying that I got an interview call. He was like, "Wow, so our efforts have been paid off." Then I would get an admission letter or admit thing. Then I would again messages and I have got an admit. So I'm like, "Good, your efforts are being paid off now again." I mean, you know what you've done and you've got what you wanted. So those were like. It was like a sigh of relief. Like, yeah, I mean, I have been working towards it and I'm getting it. And it's not like I would not have enjoyed my rejection, but obviously acceptance has its different taste. So yeah, that was really exciting. Like, now I have to think ahead. Now I'm going. For sure, I have an admission. I have to think ahead now about the things like moving or stuff like that.
How was the interview process for you?
Interview process was good. So you had taken my first mock interview. Really, I was shivering. This was the first experience kind of a thing, and you gave fantastic feedbacks with what I helped. I mean, it helped me, and I worked on it. And later on, then you comforted me saying that it won't be, and even Sandeep sir did that. It won't be like a formal interview as we do for jobs, right? But somehow it's in our system. I mean, after 8 years, that's in my system that formal, it will be formal, it will be formal. Somehow it's in system. But then once I got into this mock interviews and then the actual interviews, then I got to know, okay, fine, this is just a conversation. It's just the things that y'all helped me to rewind my life. It's just that we are discussing that and getting to know the person is getting understanding as to how I am or what are the things that I've done. So yeah, that was good. I would say all 3 interviews have been good. They were pretty on a similar line. They were just chit-chatting about how your experience has been, how was your work thing, what have you done, anything you want to mention. So it was like an open thing. You tell me about yourself. You tell me how do you want to go about or what you've done. And so yeah, it was good.
If you have to give one piece of advice to anyone who is starting the journey right now, because a lot of them you were at the same stage last year, what would be your advice to them?
Piece of advice would be confident on yourself. Never doubt yourself, because again, I'm reiterating, after my GMAT score, I was really devastated that I don't think I'll be able to apply, or I don't think I'll be able to make to the school that I'm targeting. So I was really because of that, I went late to apply to that school. Maybe I would have applied in the first 2 rounds, I would have gotten. But no, I mean, something was stopping me that no, I won't get it, and I didn't apply. But then last moment, I was like, let me at least try. Now I have secured something, let me at least try for this, my favorite school as well. So I did that, and fortunately I got it. So it's not like you have to be confident about yourself that yes, you are capable and you can do it. I mean, it's nothing like if you think you don't have such great experiences from your work life or from your personal life, but that's okay. Everyone need not be, you can say, superlative in everything. You can be average and you can obviously excel, but you should know what you are and you should accept what you are. So just be there and do it confidently and just have faith in yourself.
I think interesting that you said that about what I always feel is that we as we ourselves downplay or underestimate our potential, right? So there are so many things in everybody's profile that we can talk about which are superlative, which are great, because all this is subjective. It might not be great for you, but it can be great for others, right? So Great advice. Thank you so much, Ruby. It was lovely talking to you.
I
And I'm so excited for you that you are getting into this. You're going to start your journey in the school of your choice, and beautiful place. So this place is London, which is slightly away from Toronto, but it's beautiful. It's nice. And I'm sure you'll have a great time. And I think it's a small cohort too, so that also adds to the whole value to Ivy Business School, right? So all the best. Thank you so much for your time, and keep me posted. I'll keep in touch with you anyway through LinkedIn, and we will be in touch.
sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.